about the rights of, guess who? Parents, and parents standing up and feeling like they're being discriminated against, that they're not able to make decisions for their kids in schools and elsewhere in our society when you go back to the vaccine mandates, the mask mandates, and all the rest of it. The good news this morning, the optimistic tone we want to bring to you, is that there are actually some parents, specifically some moms, who are standing up in the great state of North Carolina. We want to welcome them right now. Sloan Rackmuth, Emily Rainey are just two moms who are part of a new group called Education First Alliance. I hope I have that right. Welcome to you both, and good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Sloan, let's start with you. When you hear Jen Psaki talk like that, what do you say as a mom?
Well, I say this, that, the sexuality of a child, that belongs in the domain of the parents. The parents have every right and responsibility to take care of their own child's needs. In fact, nowhere in the Constitution does it say that the government should be raising our children in any way, particularly when it comes to cultivating their identity.
Yeah, and Emily, why don't you weigh in quickly, and then I want Karen to jump in as well. Emily, your thoughts, because we can broaden the conversation. You're also standing up against CRT being taught in school. And Emily, I got to say, we saw in the Virginia governor's race, Democrats kept telling us, no, this is fake news. You're lying, Emily. CRT, they say, is not taught in schools.
Well, as a former psychological operations officer in the Army, I can tell you there is nothing grassroots about the agendas and indoctrinations that are being pushed in schools right now. What parents want are their kids to learn how to read. They want to learn how to do basic multiplication facts well before they ever learn about the pornography that's being pushed into schools, or they definitely do not want their children being separated based on race. So that is why we have started this PAC, because of the frustrations that most Americans are having with their elected representatives on the conservative side. And we're going to be the voice for the parents if our elected representatives won't.
I was thinking as you were saying that, that's exactly what was in my mind, is how crazy is it that this is the White House? These are people that are supposed to be standing up. They're elected officials. They should represent the people that they're supposed to represent, whether you voted for them or not. They represent America. And when parents in such a loud majority are coming forward and saying, we're not going to take it anymore, you would think that they would be listening at least a little. And they seem to be completely tone deaf on this issue.
Sloan.
Yeah, well, it's not just from the White House. I mean, we're seeing this at the state level here in North Carolina. I mean, it should be a red state, right? But critical race theory is mandated from the top down, and no one wants this stuff, no matter what color the parents are. In fact, parents from all stripes, even we have gay parents in our coalition, they agree with Christian Walker. They do not want age-inappropriate stuff taught in the classroom. And I think the only saving grace, Ed, is that the reading literacy here in North Carolina is very low. I think if you can count that as a silver lining, they may not be able to read the garbage that's put forth by this sexual politics going on in the classroom.
Yeah, Emily, I wonder if the other part of the sort of optimistic tone we're trying to strike here, because people are frustrated and can be quite pessimistic about what's happening in schools, what's happening in universities, how our kids are being indoctrinated. But when I'm trying to focus on the positive, as you both are, as you look forward, think backwards a few years ago to the bathroom bill in your state of North Carolina. That was a situation where it seemed like they were getting away with this turn. And there was a backlash, and parents and others stood up and said, enough is enough. Remember, the NBA was trying to be woke. They pulled the All-Star game out of Charlotte. And people like yourself, Emily, they rose up and said, enough is enough.
Number one thing that a parent wants is safety for their kid when they go to school. And what we saw back with the bathroom bill was just a pure issue with safety. So Ed First Alliance is focused on that as one of our main platforms for our girls when it comes to, sexual orientation and sexual identity in the locker rooms. Definitely having fairness when it comes to sports, and just getting out all of this indoctrination and all of these agendas being pushed by people that don't even live in this state. The one thing we want parents to understand is if you follow the money, you will see who's really in charge of the schools and who's really in charge of our kids. And we're taking that power back, we the parents.
We the parents. That's great. I love that. We the parents. There should be, there's been so many parents that have come forward and joined now the race to become school board members. We've heard from some of their real voices here at Benny's on the Beach. It's great what you guys are doing. We need to take education back. It's been a really great conversation.
Sloan, can you wrap up the conversation by telling us how people can help you, how they can hear more about what you're all up to? There are a lot of real American voices waking up this morning, proud that you're both standing up along with some of your friends, other moms. How do people join the fight?
Thank you, Ed. Well, I wanted to let you guys know that teachers are a big part of our coalition. So it's not just moms, it's actually a lot of teachers. That's about a third of our coalition. We have about 30,000 networked groups and people all across the state. You can reach us via Telegram, Education First Alliance. You can catch us on our website, and that's edfirstnc.org.
edfirstnc.org, not as in Ed Henry, but Ed is in education. So we appreciate you, Sloan. Emily, you are both standing up and speaking out, and we're looking forward to having you back in the days ahead. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, that's awesome. It's great to hear some moms who are standing up and some teachers we can't forget, as Sloan pointed out. By the way, when you talk about...
Sloan pointed out.